Hey, welcome again, everyone. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Joel Broughton, so I'm excited to have you guys on this evening with me. So tonight what I wanted to talk to you guys about is something that I think has a major impact on this industry and the success level that you're going to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months, the ability for you to be able to have either huge amounts of success in your business, no matter what company you're with, no matter what program that you decide to promote, no matter where your business or your life takes you. I think that these factors that we're going to talk about tonight will have a significant impact on your success. And what we're going to talk about tonight is systems, okay? Primarily, obviously, marketing systems and business systems. And I'm going to relate that, obviously, to your business, why it's important to use them, but also some of the reasoning behind why I've had so much success in this industry thus far and why I'll continue to have success no matter what. Okay, no matter what happens, because of the mindset that I have and because of the way that I look at business and the way that I look at marketing. Okay, and you can have that same type of success if you choose, as long as you kind of follow some of the guidelines and some of the ideas that I'm going to share with you tonight. And for some of you, you may be aware that you need a system, but maybe you don't necessarily know why. Maybe you don't necessarily really fully understand how important it is to ensure that what you're doing follows some of the ideas and some of the concepts that I'm going to talk about tonight. Okay? So let's talk about the fact that, now these are obviously my opinions, but they are also my beliefs. I have, I guess, proven through my experiences that the majority of these things that I'm talking about are true. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Well, simply the fact that over the course of the last 5 years in my business and in the businesses of many people that I've observed, that I've worked with, that these things are true. Okay, marketing systems will always outperform hard work in multi-level marketing and in internet marketing and affiliate marketing. Okay, systems will always outperform hard work. Okay, now some of you may be thinking, well, no they won't, I can work harder. But here's the thing, a system, if you create it properly and you use it properly, can create results of absolutely huge scalability. Okay, you can scale systems tens of thousands of times higher than you ever could your efforts or the time that you have available. All right, so if you put the proper systems in place at the beginning of your business, and if you're using marketing systems to be able to grow your business and for that business of your affiliates or your members, you will always outperform people that are working harder than you. And if we kind of examine this a little further, there's 4 main parts to your business where if you create systems for them, you'll have a lot more success. Okay, and obviously this is going to be your sales funnel, or your kind of put in the leads at the top. You do your lead generation, which is number 1. Contact them and build the relationship, which is bringing them to presentations, and then the selling and the closing, which can either be online or in person or over the phone, and training and support of those affiliates, okay, that you sponsored into your business. So lead generation, let's talk about that first. There's all kinds of different ways to generate leads. Now, I always opt for things that are more scalable than not, personally. Now, I teach you guys all kinds of different ways to generate leads, because when it comes down to it, everything that I teach you actually works to generate leads. Okay? The things that you select, however, will determine how large your business can grow. All right, the things that you do to build your business will determine how large your business can grow and how scalable it is. Okay. Normally, paid advertising is much more scalable than free advertising. Free advertising meaning you're actively marketing online to be able to create a lead. All right, so you're spending your time, you're trading your time for those leads by running ads online for free, or by clicking and surfing exchanges or traffic exchanges and things like that, writing articles, posting them, okay, and doing those types of activities where you're basically exchanging time for those leads that you're generating. Now, some of those things are residual lead generators, meaning that once you put them up there, they can potentially generate you leads for a significant amount of time. Okay, so article writing and some of the SEO practices that you can do today can potentially continue to generate you leads for months and months and months and years to come. So, obviously taking that into consideration, a lot of the paid advertising, however, is extremely scalable depending on where you're advertising. Things like the pay-per-click search marketing advertising is extremely scalable, right? Because you can continue to spend more and more and more money to advertise more to generate more leads. All right, so no matter how you generate leads, whether you're handing out business cards to people you come across, whether you are writing articles online, whether you're surfing on traffic exchanges, whether you're running ads through pay-per-click marketing, whether you're running newspaper ads, it doesn't really matter. But what I want you to do is I want you to focus on and understand that in some way your lead generation needs to be able to be scaled. Okay? Higher, faster, better as your business grows. Okay? You need to be able to use some of the techniques at least where you're not specifically trading your personal time for a result. So how do we get there? Well, for instance, you can do things like hiring other people to run ads for you, to write articles for you, hiring other individuals to surf on traffic exchanges to generate you credits. Think about that. If you can develop a system where it returns you more money than you're paying the individual to do that work for you, this is how business works, right? That's why so many people are employees, because the business owner has figured out a system to run an ad, generate somebody to come into their retail location, have an employee sit there for $10 an hour and sell sweaters or sell cheeseburgers or whatever it is that they're selling, and the owner makes a profit. So in the same regard, you need to design your lead generation. Now, off the start, it's going to be a little bit slower. It's potentially not going to be hugely scalable when you're first starting. But your goal ultimately is to create it so that your lead generation is 100% scalable, so that you can continue to run more and more and more ads with no limitations. Okay? Your time should not limit your ability to advertise. All right? When you first start, time and money is a factor. Right? Time and money usually is a factor when you start a new home-based business or internet business. But as you grow, you need the ability to, and you need to design your advertising model around either paying other people to run the ads, paying companies to run the ads, running the ads on places where you're obviously paying for that service, or even paying people to write articles to do SEO type things for you. So eventually you want to get it to a point where you're able to add more advertising continuously to your business as you can afford to, okay, as your company grows, as your business grows, and as your bottom line grows. You don't want to be limited by the fact that you only have 24 hours in a day. All right? So designing your lead generation system and the ways that you generate leads. Now, this isn't overnight, folks. Okay? This is something that you need to just think about over the next 3 to 6 to 12 months to continually add more and more leads into your funnel or into your system, okay, into your lead capture pages that come through the New Reg. Okay, so designing that lead generation system is important. Number 2, contact and relationship building. Now, this process needs to as well be created so that the system takes over. All right, the system needs to be able to generate and build a relationship with other human beings for you. You can't have a large, successful business, or it's very difficult and it takes a long time. Okay, sorry, let me retract that. You can, it might just take you 15 years. Okay, But if you want to do it in a shorter period of time, you need to be able to create a system that does this for you. So you can do this in a multitude of ways. Okay, building relationships and those initial contacts with your prospects. You can do things like pre-record videos of yourself talking to them, inviting them to phone you, inviting them to join you, telling them about the business, educating them. You can pre-record audios that do that. You can send autoresponder messages. Granted that I will never, ever tell you that picking up a telephone is worse than sending an email. It's not. Picking up a telephone will build a stronger bond or a stronger relationship. I agree. That's the way that human beings work. However, in our case, when we're building a business on the internet and we want to scale it, quantity is better than quality. If you want to have a super large business, quantity is better than quality. All right, being able to reach the masses with a message to develop and build a relationship is more important than individually speaking with people one-on-one. Now again, when you're first starting off your business, it's different. Okay, when you're first getting started, reaching out and touching those initial people to start building your network, that's a good idea. Okay, it is important, and it is a good idea to be able to do that, because your network will actually build stronger. You'll build a nice base of people. As you grow, however, keep in mind that you want to make sure that your methods are scalable so that you do have that ability to build relationships with people and grow your business. Now think about my case, for instance, okay, Joel Broughton. Okay, I'll just give you an instance for me. As we grow the membership, it's impossible for me to personally contact and reach out and phone every single member. Okay? It's impossible for me to do that. However, when I first started it, okay, when I first got it started, I physically phoned people that I knew that could market it. I physically talked to individuals that started having some success with it, okay, that I had personally sponsored and brought in. Why did I do that? Well, because I was building a strong bond with them and a relationship so that they would go build the business with me. Okay? So the same goes for you. I mean, when you're first starting, it's important for you to reach out and touch people and try to build relationships and build bonds with them. As you get 100, 200, 500, 700, 1,000 or more members, eventually you can't reach out and touch every single person. If you're bringing in 10 or 20 people a day into the site as new members, it's going to just absolutely consume all of your time if you're doing that. So why not do something like record a short video or an audio and just email it to them when they first join. And that's kind of a bit of an extra little personal touch that you have available to you that you can obviously do, and it can just be a welcome message from you and encouraging them to phone you and stuff like that. And then, you know, the serious ones will give you a call, and maybe you do spend time with some of them. Okay, but you'll be able to build that relationship in a way that leverages yourself, right? So that you're not spending all your time doing it. Again, as you have thousands and thousands and thousands of members, you need to be thinking about it now, how you're going to leverage your ability to reach out and build relationships without spending 100% of your time. And I do it as well through conference calls. Right? This conference call right now leverages my time huge. I can put hundreds of people onto these calls live. I can put thousands of people listening to the recordings of these calls, and we can train and educate and build relationships with our members through these conference calls. Okay? So just think about that as you're obviously contacting, building relationships, and inviting people to presentations about your business, whether it be your primary business before you bring them to your primary business. It doesn't matter. Okay. Sales and closing. Now this is a funny one, and obviously there can be a lot of talk about this and a lot of debate as to whether or not you personally get on the phone with individuals to sponsor them into a business, whether it be an online free business Some people do phone other people and close them, believe it or not. I know of several people that do that, and they have a lot of success, and they sponsor and bring in a lot of members doing that. Now, should you do that? Well, you can when you first get started, but eventually, the more and more people that you bring through the system, the more and more leads you bring through the system, you're going to want that process to be automated. Now, the same goes for your primary business, believe it or not, because if you put, one person in front of your primary business presentation, getting on the phone with that one person probably isn't a big deal. It's probably not a huge deal for you to personally speak with them and enroll them and sponsor them. But if you had, for instance, let's say 2,000 people looking at your primary business this week, it would probably be a different story. You would probably need a more automated process to be able to sponsor the group that wanted to be sponsored in. Will you get as good a result? No, of course not. When you speak with individuals, you always have a higher closing ratio. You always have a higher percentage of bringing people into your business. But sometimes it's just not feasible based on the numbers. Now, the numbers, I want you to get a business where the numbers make it not feasible for you to physically speak with everybody. That would be ideal. Why is that? Well, because if the numbers get so large that you can't physically speak with everybody that's joining and that's getting sponsored and enrolling into your company, now that's a good problem to have. That means that you're probably bringing in, or you've probably got thousands and thousands and thousands of people on your list, right? Individuals to contact. So how do we invite that many people, or how do we show that many people our business? Well, it all comes back to the lead generation, where you're building a huge, massive contact list, right? And then eventually you invite them. So the sales and closing process, can it be automated? Yes. I've proven many times that we can sponsor people into a business without speaking with them, as long as you have the right process. Right? As long as you give them the opportunity to enroll or to join without actually physically speaking to another human being, you can do that. Right? But it's tricky and it's hard, and you have to have good sales copy and a good message and a good presentation. Okay? And then obviously the opportunity for them to be able to buy or purchase or join right there on the spot. Okay? I'm not going to go into that hugely tonight in terms of how to do that. Maybe we'll spend a whole class on that, or a whole training session on that in the future sometime. We put them all in a conference call. All your members, we can put them all in a conference call. We can put them in a webinar. We can put them into the recorded training, and they can be trained in an automated fashion. Now, I'm not saying you put everybody kind of through the meat grinder here and just pound people through. What I am saying is that if you want to have a large, successful business and time freedom to spend with your family and to do what you want to do, your systems need to be in place where full automation can happen and is an option. And then you can decide, at what point you want to step in to the process to increase conversion. Okay? And wherever it is that you're stepping in to increase conversions is obviously, hopefully, a monetary decision and nothing else. Right? It makes sense, right? You're here to make money. I'm advising you on strategies to think about as you're designing your plan to be able to make money, and I want you to make a lot of it. Okay, so systems will always outperform. What's the alternative? Well, the alternative is handing out business cards at the shopping mall or to people going and sitting and calling them after you hand them out or you got their phone number, going and sitting down with them at a coffee meeting, right, and spending a couple hours there, and then following up with them and sponsoring them, and then getting together with them on a weekly basis to train them one-on-one. Okay, now, I'm not saying that's not an effective way to build a business. It is. It's a very effective way, and the retention will probably be higher because you're building a stronger bond, a stronger relationship with that one individual. The problem is you only have one individual, so you're really not getting paid very much for your time. Okay, so by automating and by creating scalable systems online, for us to be able to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and have nothing hold you back. There's not there's no small little section of the system that can hold you back. If you can automate the entire process, then what's going to happen is your business has unlimited potential for growth. If you can't automate the whole process, then your business eventually at some point needs to be touched by a human being, then it's not unlimited. There will be potential for growth just based on your time, your availability, and your skill set. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So if you have to touch it, I mean, you can only grow to a certain amount. If you don't have to touch it throughout the whole process of bringing people into the business, training them, helping them, and growing and creating more duplication, you have a chance now to grow to an unlimited amount of distributors or affiliates and income. Now, in order to speed up the process, obviously you step in at certain points to either close more people, bring more people into the business, build better and stronger relationships, do personal training, personal support, things like that. Okay, but the ability to have it automated needs to be there. All right. Now the system obviously does that, and part of this, I guess, in a way, is a bit of a sales pitch on using the system for doing this for your business and automating and create scalability. Right? If you don't already have something that does, you need to continue to plug into what we're doing. I designed this system for me to personally use to build a business. I want you to understand that. So all of the concepts that I teach you are already in the system. The only thing that you need to work on is the development of a presentation process for your primary business. So all of these things that I'm talking about so far are already built into the system in a 100% automated fashion where it's completely hands-off for you. Now, I as the creator have to do training and things like that, so it's not 100% hands-off for me, but it's pretty darn close, okay, because I'm able to, eventually I could probably even farm out the training, although I enjoy doing it myself. I could get a bunch of trainers to come on here and teach you about the system and teach you about the different online marketing techniques and do questions and answers and all that kind of stuff. So making your business based on a system basically means where you can drop people in the top and they come out the bottom. If you want to make it better, you do some personal touching in between, and you reach out and obviously talk to people, build relationships and things like that personally to be able to increase the output at the bottom. But even if you didn't do that, you still get an output at the bottom. So continue to use that, obviously promote it in a big way, and work on, if you haven't already, work on your automation for your primary business. And then we can start working on conversions. Right? We can start working on increasing, improving conversions once you've got the system functionally working, bringing people through all of the websites and all of the system that you have. So we're going to end the call at that. Make sure your business has automation and systems in it with it. Without that, you're going to continue to be frustrated. You're going to continue to grow slowly, and you're going to continue to be the problem in your business, which slows it down. Okay? So make sure it's got the ability to be automated. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you guys all very soon.